Security, escort this gentleman out, please.
Come on, Soda Pop, let's go.
Is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition to this project? You're in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Give your name and your address.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. My name is Mike Huether. Live here in Sioux Falls, but also have some property in Minnehaha County as well, which is adjacent to Diamond Lake. I am a neighbor of George and Brent and Cheryl, and I'm here in support of the effort today. But I also want to bring to the attention of the County Commission and as well as others about just some of the things that I think that we should consider with any tile permit. And certainly because I am a neighbor of Diamond Lake, I'd ask the County Commission to consider maybe some conditions in regards to this permit as well. Before I do that, though, I do want to just commend David Heinhold, your planner on this Minnehaha County Planning and Zoning team. He's been very, very cooperative. He has done his due diligence, and I think he's representing not only you, but the county very, very well. You should be aware that there have been 6 tile permits within 2 miles of Diamond Lake already. And this will be another one that will occur that George and Brent are proposing. I am here because I am a cheerleader of agriculture, farmers and ranchers and the good things that they do. But I'm also very, very concerned about game production, habitat development, and also habitat protection as well. Certainly I have some specific concerns for Diamond Lake. Again, because I have some property along Diamond Lake. And Commissioner Barth, maybe just trying to give you a little insight on Diamond. It is a beautiful lake. It's about 250 acres in size. Normally, it's about 8 to 12 feet deep. And it's got a long history of game production and recreation and providing good memories for folks. Over the last 5 years, Diamond Lake has dropped pretty dramatically. It's dropped at least probably 4 to 6 feet. And in a conversation that George and I had about this permit, George conferred with that. He knows the lake much, much better than I, and he knows the ebbs and flows of the quantity of that particular lake. But it has dropped about 4 to 6 feet over the last 5 years. Where you walk from my property to where the water was to where it is now, you can step about 50 to 75 feet down. That's how far the drop has occurred. We also had a major fish kill about 4 years ago. And it had nothing to do with nitrates or nothing to do with tiling or permitting. The fish kill was due to weather conditions that occurred during a very, very tough winter that we had. But it was a very, very major fish kill there at Diamond Lake. Since that time, of course, we've been monitoring not only the volume of water within Diamond, but we've also been monitoring the fishing and the habitat within Diamond as well. We're having a hard time getting fish back at Diamond. We're also having a hard time getting water back at Diamond. Diamond Lake is a closed system. It is. There's not a lot of water that flows into Diamond. It does not have an extensive watershed, as some of the topics that we just talked about in the last one. It really is dependent on direct precipitation, and not only is Diamond Lake down, but Island Lake is also down. It's probably truly due to a lack of moisture, a lack of cooperation from Mother Nature. So when we talk about this particular permit, let's talk about it. There is some tile that George and his son Brent are proposing that is going to drain right into Diamond. Common sense says, Commissioner Barth and team, this should increase the flow in terms of and the capacity of Diamond. It should. And for that, that's seems like a good thing to me. However, the jury is certainly out on the quality of the water that will flow into Diamond. One thing that has been proven is that high level of nitrates at times can certainly spur on some quality issues with the water. There is also some evidence on the impact of fisheries as well with these nitrates. As I stand here in support of George and Brent and their family and what they're trying to do, I would ask the County Commission just maybe to consider a couple of things. And David, you know the ability to put conditions on these much better than I. County Commission, you certainly know if there's an ability to put conditions on these as well. Tiling permits, they are approved throughout the state in a very, very aggressive fashion. And it's very, very rare to ever have them not approved. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we'll leave that for future generations to understand. However, when it comes to this particular permit, again, I stand in support of the permit for a variety of reasons, but Commissioner Huether, I'm sure you're waiting for me to sit down, and I respect that. There are two things, though, that I would ask you to consider. Number one, in a letter from Steve Vanderbeek to David and to others, there is a comment that is made, and I think it's a great one. Previously, another neighbor who was permitted to install a drain tile project that discharged into Diamond Lake voluntarily installed a nitrogen bioreactor as part of his project to minimize the amount of nitrogen discharged into the lake by that project. Again, voluntarily installed a nitrogen bioreactor as part of his project to minimize the amount of nitrogen discharged in the lake by that project. George and Brent, they're good neighbors. They're good farmers. They want to do the right thing. And as George and I discussed, certainly we believe that the quantity of the water will increase in Diamond, and that's a good thing. And I'm sure he doesn't want the quality to diminish, and nor do I. Also, Commissioner, I'm going to ask you to consider something, and then I will sit down. We do approve a bunch of drainage tile permits within Minnehaha County. You can't imagine the number of watersheds and the amount of lakes that we have in Minnehaha County. It's a great thing. It's a grand thing, and we should really, really celebrate it. The challenge comes in terms of, how do you monitor what's happening with those lakes? Now, you certainly don't have the time to do all that. Actually, the game fishing parks and the DNR, they struggle monitoring all the lakes and the watersheds, even within Minnehaha County. Here's maybe just something for you to consider. I'm going to encourage the Minnehaha County Commission to pick a lake or to pick two lakes within our great county, and let's analyze the impact of tiling on these particular lakes. Of course, I'm going to encourage you to choose Diamond Lake as that first test, to have the DNR, to have the game fishing parks or any other entity probably analyze two things. Number one, let's provide an annual report to Minnehaha County that touches on what has happened to the quantity of water of Diamond, but also what is happening to the quality of water at Diamond. I think it'd be a good case study. A good case study not only for Minnehaha County, not only for the County Commission, but for the state of South Dakota as a whole. You folks do have a lot of firepower. You do. I mean, I can stand up here and as a neighbor of George and Brent and cheer them on to do the right thing for ag. I can stand here as an advocate for fishing and wildlife and hunting and things like that. But I just don't have near the power that the County Commission would have. And so again, just something to consider as a condition is whether the Minnehaha County would consider asking the DNR to provide you an annual report for the next 5 years on Diamond Lake and maybe another lake within Minnehaha County. Thank you for your time, Commissioner Chair Huether. I truly appreciate your service and the rest of yours as well. Make it a great day.
Thank you, Mayor. Are there any questions?
Y'all come back now. Cheers.
What kind of morons run this outfit?